Lights out. And now the movies, folks.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to Misfit Boys Horror Madness. I am your humble host, Misfit Boy, and I have decided to start doing a YouTube channel just because I have some more free time on my hands finally. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and now that I finally got the opportunity, I'm going to try and run with it and see where it goes. I'm going to be talking about different movies from different genres. I mean, we're going to be talking like zombie genres, possessed, you name it. As of recent, in like the last, I'd say, year or so, I've really gotten into the found footage genre. It's really been piquing my interest. Don't get me wrong, I love the zombie genre, but it seems like ever since the 5th or 6th season of The Walking Dead, people have just been putting these movies out like there's no tomorrow. And I know the same can be said about found footage, but one thing I found out about found footage, those films have been a lot more hit than miss as to the zombie genre. So my first review is going to be a found footage film. And it's one that a lot of people probably never heard of. And I stumbled across this yesterday. I was originally going to do a different film, but this one just really caught my attention. The name of the film that I'm going to be talking about is Savageland. It is a film from 2015. It is directed by Simon Herbert, David Welland, and Phil Geedy, I believe his name was. I hope I said that right. And the film takes place in a small town called Sangre de Cristo. And it's on the border of Arizona and Mexico. Now, there's a lot of problems with immigrants trying to get over the border and that. And I'm going to tell you right away, this movie is filled with people that are racist, prejudiced. So, moving along, the film starts with a documentary style. It's basically a mockumentary. And we have our lone survivor of this small town of 57 people named Francisco Salazar. And he goes from house to house trying to get jobs to paint, repair things, and he is an illegal immigrant. Well, one night, 57 people are brutally murdered. The entire town is wiped out. And Francisco is your only survivor. So the police arrest him. And as the film goes on, a reporter finds a roll of film because Francisco's hobby is photography. He develops the film, and what he finds is rather chilling. Now, you would think that there would be video from what happened, but there's not. This revolves all around the photographs, which entirely of 36. There are 36 pictures. Now, as the movie goes on, the pictures get a little bit better quality. Now, keep in mind, they're all blurred, but that's because when Francisco was trying to escape whatever was happening, he was constantly just snapping photos. So it's always going to be blurry until the last one. So he's arrested and someone comes in and starts questioning him. He's catatonic at this point. He can't speak. He does not want to eat. So there are a couple people, one man in general, who is a retired Border Patrol officer. And he begins to tell the story of what really happened in this small town. And it's mind blowing. It really is. So his name is Len Matheson. Now, the actor that portrays Len, a lot of you are going to know because he helped create the Wolverine character for Marvel Comics. So as the film goes on, we start seeing little by little a picture here, a picture there. Then we start seeing images of shadows that are on top of a hill. And the more pictures that are being taken, the closer and closer they are getting to this town. And at this point, Francisco must have panicked and started running for his life, because towards the end of the film, we get our shocking revelation. And it's a good one, I've got to tell you. Because you got to keep in mind, when the police rolled up on this town at like 8 o'clock in the morning the following day, there were limbs, body parts, everything just strewn all across the city streets, everything. And the town was just covered in blood. Now, I'm going to spoil this movie. Towards the end of the film, the reporter that found the roll of pictures starts showing them. And you can see what these things are. The very last photo is extremely creepy, which really gave me a lot of respect for this film. I'm not going to say it would be in like my top 10, but it's a definite watch to check out, because at the end of the film, we come to find out that the town was attacked by, you guessed it, zombies. Now, the very last photo shows a little girl with Francisco's hand out, holding her hand, trying to help her get out. And behind the little girl, we see two zombies that are getting ready to bite into her. Now, unfortunately, by the time everything is said and done with this, Francisco is killed. He is killed by lethal injection. And the border patrolman comes back, and at the end narration, he says this wasn't the end of the film or the story. It continued, because 3 miles away from the small town, 2 campers were found brutally murdered. Then 15 miles away from that, 14 people were brutally murdered. So this is like moving, kind of like the beginning of Night of the Living Dead or something. He is explaining how the zombie outbreak is starting to move north, headed right towards California, all these other states around. And they finally cut to a video of the 2 campers that get murdered. Now, it's very blurry, typical found footage, I know. Very, very blurry. It cuts out a lot, but you see just enough to see the zombies eating the 2 campers. So, that's Savageland. It is a really good movie. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but once they find the roll of pictures, it really starts getting good. I've never seen a found footage that goes just by photos alone, let alone blurry photos. The blurry photos actually really work for it, because it keeps you guessing throughout, is it a demon? Is it possession? You just don't know what it is until the end. And that's what I loved about it. I was like, wow, this is insane. So I would highly recommend this film. I think if I had to rate it, I would probably give it about maybe a 7 out of 10. And it's only an hour and 20 some minutes long, so it's not going to take up too much of your time. So if you're into the zombie genre / found footage, I highly recommend you check it out. It is a good watch. I tried to find out what the budget of this film was, and I could find nothing. I tried to find out what it grossed. I found absolutely nothing. Like I said, a little bit of the trivia. There is a mural that was painted at the end of the film. That mural supposedly still stands on a wall somewhere in Los Angeles, and it's really cool looking. Like I said before, Len Matheson, who his real name is Len Wein, he actually helped Stan. I'm having a major brain fart here, so bear with me. He helped Stan Lee create Wolverine. Now, obviously, he wasn't going to use his real name, but he decided to use his real first name and the last name of his favorite author, who is none other than Richard Matheson. So, with that being said, if you get a chance, check out Savageland. It is a really good movie. Like I said, it is a mockumentary. There is a lot of racism. The sheriff of the town is a complete a-hole. You just can't help but hate him. And you'll see why. So a lot of the town folk are prejudiced, all the people in the neighborhood town. Then they do interviews with the mother and the sister of Francisco, and it's like a this side versus that side type of film. But I highly recommend it. Give it a watch if you're into those type of films. And until then, I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep it horror.